What's going on YouTube? As you guys know, SpongeBob has migrated to 3727. So, in this video, I think we'll be checking out their KVK. Let's take a look at 3727 and their main opponent 3705. Alright, boom. We are in 3727 and this is their main alliance. I think it's W27H, yep. And we got Wrath of Hades, 11 billion power in KVK4. Is this the strongest KVK4 kingdom there's ever been? Obviously past the point where people can migrate back infinitely. But, oh my lord, here we go. We start off with Daddy Gate, the king. 187 million power, 4 billion KP, SVIP account, 193 ID. That's a young account. We have Osetia, who was in several KVKs that I've been in. I think 2 KVKs I've been in, or maybe 1. 157 million power, 7.7 billion KP, 189 ID. AZ, 100 million power, 2.6 billion KP, 1909 ID. Oh my god, these are young accounts, guys. MCC, 192 ID, 100 million power, 3.2 billion KP. I wonder how many SVIP accounts this kingdom has. We have Lucky Bucky, 99 million power, 2.2 billion KP, 195 ID. Oh my god, did they get any sleeper accounts? These look all native. 191 ID, 96 million power, 4.3 billion KP. I don't know what their exact KP number is, but if you guys are in this alliance, drop the KP number for the total alliance KP in the comments and I'll pin it. We have Morgasm here, 183 ID. Okay, this is an older account. This is older than my account. 89 million power, 6.3 billion KP. And he won a KVK. You got an Artark. We have Yavian here, 192 ID, 89 million power, 6.3 billion KP. Oh my god, this alliance is full of titans. Look at all this KP, guys. I would never get this much KP. These guys have so much KP. 84 million power, 3.9 billion KP. Got another Artark here. We have Galaxy, 192 ID, 77 million power, 2.3 billion KP. So far, all these counts are native. And what I mean by native is that they're within the migration where they didn't have to sleep their account in. 189 ID, 59 million power, 1.1 billion KP. And they got Artark. Congrats. Moz here, 55 million power, 378 million KP. Finally, a more normal KP number. I believe that's a native account. And we have Sophia, 196 ID. And that's about it for the R4. Now, I do believe that they had all their migrants in R2, but maybe they moved them to R1, or maybe they just moved them to R3. But let's start off with R3, guys. A lot of familiar faces here. A couple familiar faces from my first kingdoms ever. And let's start off with Lukami. Lukami was in my KVK 2. We fought against him and won. He was in 35, I believe. And insane account. 367 million power, 14 billion KP. Recently won their KVK 4. He was in 3672. 189 ID. Crazy Kraken account. 55 million deads. Highest power 505 million. I mean, this account is just absurd, guys. Moving on to Sponge. Sponge also has a crazy account. 192 ID. 341 million power. 9.8 billion KP. With a total power of a 379 million peak power. 49 million deads. I mean, between these two accounts, they have 100 million dead troops, which is actually absurd. But that's not all. We have F here. Obviously, I'm not going to say his full name because I would get demonetized on YouTube, but we have F here. 246 million power, 6.5 billion KP. Originally, I believe he was in 84, then he migrated to 26, and then this is his next kingdom that he migrated to. 26 million deads, peak power of 256 million, and honestly, crazy fighter. We have Panlux here. This is the first high power account that I don't really recognize. 154 million power, 3.6 billion KP. I don't think I've played a KVK with this guy yet, but 18 million deads, crazy stats. And then we have Advocate. If you guys don't know Advocate, he was in my first KVK 2 ever. Then he migrated to the same kingdom to be with me for my second KVK and third KVK. And then he was an opponent in my KVK 4. Crazy account, 147 million power, 2.2 billion KP. We have Schlimmy here. I don't recognize Schlimmy here, but another SVIP account, 147 million power and 5.2 billion KP, and an Artark. Crazy account. We have Eno. Eno's here, 130 million power, 2.7 billion KP, 6 million deads, a little bit lower deads, but honestly very strong account. We have Aracus, 136 million power, 3.5 billion KP. Everyone has so much KP with 2 Artarks. This might be the first sleeper account. 177 ID. This account is too old to migrate back naturally. This has to be a sleeper. So this is the first sleeper account. Then we have YSML. If you guys don't know YSML, he was in the 3672 1v3 KVK. Went absolutely crazy. He was top of the leaderboards for a lot of the fights. 129 million power, 6.5, almost 6.6 billion KP, and you got the Artok. We have Yusuf here, 122 million power, 2.9 billion KP, 193 ID, very, very young account, 18 million deads, crazy account. We have War Ready. Bro, how many Zenith skins do they have? That's a lot of Zenith skins I've seen so far. 114 million power, 3.2 billion KP, 184 ID. I believe he's still native. He didn't sleep the account in. We have Chestnut, 108 million power, 835 million KP. The first account that I've really seen that doesn't have a billion KP yet, but look at the ID. 196 ID, very, very young. Definitely going to hit a billion KP this KVK. We have Ignite. If you guys don't know Ignite, he was in my first kingdom ever. 3585. Crazy archer player. 103 million power, 2.6 billion KP. Moved on to Ifrionix. Oh my god, I messed that up. Aphrion, 101 million power, 986 million KP. Then we have Super Gordo here, 99 million power, 2.6 billion KP. Very young account, 193 ID. All these accounts seem very, very young. They don't have any insane sleeper accounts. But obviously, the sleeper accounts are hard to find unless I'm in the kingdom and can search by KP. Prisma Pro, 99 million power, 4.3 billion KP. Holy kraken. We have Sten here, 99 million power, 1.4 billion KP, 5.2 million deads. Old of Cat, 98 million power, 725 million KP. Bro, there's so many accounts. I can't look through all of them. I'm going to scroll through the list and I'm going to pick out accounts that I recognize. I know Loot Chief. Loot Chief has been in several kingdoms. I've been in 86 million power, 1.7 billion KP. If I missed your account, I'm sorry, but this video is getting a little bit long and I want to get to 05 as well and look at 05. So we got to scroll through. Chicago's here. Chicago Flow, crazy player. New Pepe here. He was in this kingdom actually. He was in 95 and he migrated with Sponge, I believe. Eco, I believe Eco was also in this KVK. It might be same Eco as this one. Oh, this one's Eno. Eno was in my KVK 2 or KVK 1. Eco, I believe, was in this KVK. Then we got some more accounts in here. X-Lord, we have X-Rord, we have Chom, and then we move on to R1s. R1s still have a lot of crazy. Another SVIP account. We have Kaluga, 179 million power, 4 billion KP. Holy SVIPs. How many do they have, guys? 97 million power, 3.8 billion KP. That is crazy. Guys, I really hope this kingdom does a 1v3. If these guys don't do a 1v3, I'll be a little disappointed, but they could do it, man. Bro, I swear they're probably just as strong as 72, but they didn't have an enormous giant sleeper account that honestly helped garrison so many flags. But, hey, they look very strong, guys. And that's about it for this alliance. Let's check out the other alliance, see, make sure there's no one singing here. I don't think there would be. 4 billion power. Do they have any big accounts here? They got some 60 million accounts, but maybe these are inactive players. Yeah, I think that's about it. That is 3727. Insane kingdom. Let's check out their main opponents would be 3705. Now you may recognize this kingdom from their KVK 2 that I highlighted, and I also watched their KVK 3 on stream. Honestly, I was a little bit disappointed by their KVK 3, but let's see how their alliances have developed. I believe this was a 2 alliance kingdom before. Maybe it changed to a 1 alliance kingdom now? Okay, definitely did. That was their second alliance, Lum. Let's check out Rad first, and then we'll take a look at the main alliance here. Yep, okay, so it's a 1 alliance kingdom now. Let's check them out. Alright, so they have their King Zeph here. Now I believe this was not their original king. I believe they had a king named Mr. McCo or someone like that, but I don't know where he is. Maybe they share king. We have Zeph here, 73 million power, 1.2 billion KP. Very, very strong account. Then we have Judo. Judo, 178 million power, 11 billion KP, native account. Crazy kraken. Is this Judoka or is this another Judo? Nope, that's another Judo. This might be an account that Judoka bought. I'm not 100% sure, but we have Overworked here. 120 million power, 6.2 billion KP. Very, very crazy account. 188 ID. We have Showtime here. 101 million power, 1.8 billion KP. Man, that's a kingdom has a lot of Krakens as well. Definitely less than the last kingdom, but hey, they'll put up a good fight this KVK. Okay, this is a sleeper account they have. 80 million power, 3.5 billion KP. 4 Autarchs. Very, very old sleeper account. I don't know how they got 4 Autarchs with only 20 million units skilled. Maybe it was in like a D-seed and was farming Autarchs. I am not sure, but hey. 80 million power. We got SafeNet, 76 million power, 1.3 billion KP. Native account here. Looking quite strong. We got DuVolt, 72 million power, 1.7 billion KP. Very young account here, 194 ID, and yeah, looking crazy. We have a Neo here, 67 million power, 1.1 billion KP. We have Shadowshot, 64 million power, 1.5 billion KP. We have Dav here, 58 million power, 858 million KP. and then we have Billy and Jizkia. I don't know how to pronounce that. Jizkia. I tried. But that is it for the R4. Now, I wonder if their loss in KVK 3 actually hurt their migration more, because I don't know how many of the accounts that went to 27 might have migrated to here. But let's take a look at their R3s. This will probably be their main fighting force, and they have Judoka. Judoka is a crazy crack and 165 million power, 4.1 billion KP, and I believe he has a main account in Kingdom 606. So you might recognize that name from that. 21 million deads, pretty insane account. Peak power of 252 million, which is crazy. We have Mickey Chen, 158 million power, 2.5 billion KP, very, very young account. 194 ID. We have Bonnie here, 114 million power, 1.5 billion KP, 191 ID, very, very young account. I also pretty cool profile picture. That's a Zenith skin as well. That is the Archer Zenith. Another Archer Zenith here with the Russian Empire, 101 million power, 1.8 billion KP. Moving on to Save Fortress. Save Fortress here, 86 million power, 2 billion KP. Lost Kingdom stats hidden, but very young account, 194 ID. The Logico, I believe I've seen this name before. 82 million power, 1.1 billion KP. Very young account as well. All these accounts will be super young compared to mine. My account is kind of a grandpa now, I'm not gonna lie. I'm getting up there in age. We got Hot Dog Water here, 79 million power, 1.8 billion KP. But yeah, my account is getting pretty old now. On the scale of account age, I mean, I have a 186 ID, which is way, way older than these accounts. We have Odin here, 78 million power, 1.2 billion KP. Moving on, we got Godfrey and Genty. I remember these guys from their KVK 2. Godfrey, 77 million power. Godfrey, 77 million power, 2.1 billion KP. And Genty with 77 million power, almost 5 billion KP. I believe Genty was top 1 in DKP in their KVK 2, so correct me if I'm wrong. That might be incorrect, but I'm not going to go through every single account, but as you can see, a lot of strong T5 accounts here. I will try to pick out some names that I recognize, but I don't really recognize a lot of these players. Maybe they're new players or the name changed. I remember I did look at their alliance in Kingdom once they entered KVK 2 and fought in KVK 2, but I don't really see much familiar faces. There's a Thomas Shelby here, but that's a very common name. Looking at R2, there's a lot more whales in R2 that I'd almost missed. We have Testify here, 124 million power, 2.4 billion KP. Dude, I swear a lot of people have this profile picture. There was someone who got zeroed today in my kingdom with this profile picture. But yeah, Testify here. We have Mini Thigh Cutie. Mini Thigh Cutie with 95 million power, 2 billion KP. Holy KP. This might be a sleeper account. 180 ID. This account I feel like is a little too old for natural migration, so it might be a sleeper. We have J-Joy, 76 million power, 1.6 billion KP, and he won an Autark. Congrats, congrats. We have Turkey right here, 76 million power, 958 million kill points. And we have Do Vuong. May have pronounced that incorrectly, but 76 million power, a billion KP, plus he has the Zenith skin, and his account is the same age as mine. And he got an Autark. Nice, nice. Hey, Bobby Boy's in this kingdom. What's up, Bobby Boy? And that's about it for accounts that I recognize. I did check the other alliances already, so I think that's their full main alliance. Obviously, 27 is looking a lot stronger, and I heard that 27 might do a 2v2, but I really, really hope 27 does a 1v3. I think 2v2 would be boring and 27 will win. 1v3, there's actually a chance that 27 loses, but it'll be a great fight. And if they do win, that'd be crazy. But yeah, that's basically a little deep dive into this KVK. There's obviously a lot of other kingdoms. This is only 2 out of 16 kingdoms in this KVK that I've been looking at. So there's a lot more kingdoms to go, and I probably won't be checking out those kingdoms. I'm just going to be checking out the big ones. Sorry, that's just a lot of kingdoms to check out. But hey, if you're in this KVK, hey, drop a comment down below, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace!